A few days ago, the US government made a bizarre announcement allowing, in fact, encouraging Ethiopians who are in the US as of October 20, legally or otherwise, to stay in the US than returning to the hellish Ethiopia, effectively comparing Addis Ababa to Kabul, Kiev, and Damascus. For ordinary Americans, that claim by their government can sound true. Sadly, it is anything but. And Ethiopians in Ethiopia know that. If anything, many Ethiopians take the absurd US claim just another form of the orchestrated campaign to destabilize and eventually, if possible, break up the oldest independent country in Africa. This and many other relentless barrages of an anti-Ethiopian push are baffling many observers. For some, the recently reinvigorated campaigns against the country by some Western governments and doomsayers in the fake news outlets, the pushing to the edge may turn into a blessing in disguise for the ancient Horn of African country. It will only relieve tens of thousands of Ethiopians in the US from perpetual harassment for being undocumented, ease the way to US citizenship while they all are always will remain Ethiopians. That can't be such a bad news after all. In addition, the Western hassle seems to bring millions of people of this East African nation to unison in vehement disdain against external attempts of subjugation which may draw a political parallel to old-age neocolonialism ambitions. Contrary to what elements of vile enmity to the country portrayed, the massively misleading picture of hell on earth, life seems to go on, by and large normal. Notwithstanding the debilitating civil war imposed on it by long hands of external forces, the country, against all odds, seems to be faring along just fine. That comes more so too baffling to some observers standing by Ethiopia and against it. Here is partial street scenery in the middle of Addis Ababa yesterday, and here is the sun rising in the city's horizon this morning. And in spite of the never-ending omen by a multitude of ill-wishing foreboders, interestingly, at least nature seems to keep its fairness to stand by the country, with abundant rainfall last season and a bright spring in the new year. This is Art's Viewpoint.